on, everybody? It is your boy Arrows here. Got a lot of you. We got a lot of Lorcana content coming your way over the next couple weeks with with our starting video, which is going to be we're going to be going through and we're going to be talking about all of the colors going in coming in from Reign of Jafar. We're going to look at all the cards coming out from color. We're going to do them up in two colors per video. We're going to start with my main deck. You guys have been following me on the Arrows TC channel. You know I've been playing Steel Amethyst. We got third place in our set championships with that, and probably my favorite color combination. Although madrigals for Amber Amethyst are going to give that a real good run for its money in the next sets. But we're not talking about that right now. We're going to be talking about Amethyst and Steel in this video. We're also going to be doing different color combinations. Well, also, I'm going to, in the next few weeks, I'm going to be putting out videos where I think the top 10 cards to get reprinted in each set. Going forward, obviously, Fabled, when it comes out, is going to have a lot of reprints, so there could be more than what we do, but we're going to do like a top 10 video for what I think is going to be reprinted in Fables. And we're also going to have deck profiles for puppies, an Amber Emerald aggro deck that I really like, racers, illusions, pirates. We got a lot of content coming for you guys in the next couple weeks. I'm really excited for. But let's get into this video right now. We're talking Amber, we're talking Amethyst, and we're talking Steel. We're not doing the dual inks until later on. We're going to give the dual inks their own video for that. But we're going to talk about Amethyst, and we're going to pop in and we're going to talk about Steel. So let's get into Amethyst. Amethyst got 22 cards solo color. We're not including dual inks for Amethyst as well. Same thing with Steel, same thing with Ruby and Emerald. We're just talking about the solo colors for right now. And honestly, I kind of like a lot of what Amethyst and Steel has gotten in this set. I think it has a very strong potential. Maybe not so much now with sets 1 through 4 still in rotation, but definitely a lot of potential for the next set, for going forward into Fabled, into Whispers in the Well, into the future of Lorcana, depending on what is reprinted in those first few sets. So we're going to get into it. We're going to do this by character, then we're going to do this by items, actions, songs. You all know the drill. So we're going to start off with our one of our new one drops, Palace Guard Spectral Sentry. It is a 1-cost, 1/4 quest for 1, but it has the vanish ability because it is an illusion. Guys are unfamiliar with what the illusion characters are. They're spectral. They're like spectral images of popular things in right now, primarily. Jafar is using to, like, seize control. They all have the vanish ability. When an opponent chooses this character for an action, banish them. So for me, in my opinion, and again, you guys are more familiar with this and you don't agree, I would love to hear your reasoning in the comments why. I don't really think, for the most part, the stat line matters too much in the illusion Pokemon. In the illusion cards, because as soon as they're targeted with an action, they die. So it doesn't matter if they have 4, 6, 12 willpower or toughness. As soon as they're targeted for something, for an action, they die. So yes, so the challenging, that does matter. 1/4 stat line is actually really good on one drop. It's going to probably take a little bit in the early game for somebody to take it out, so you're going to get a good couple lore off of it. I like this card. I don't like this card right now. I think depending on how rotation looks and what is reprinted in those first 2 sets, the 1-drops in Steel Amethyst are really tight right now. You have your Diablo, you have your Chernobog's Followers, and you have your Broom. Those are like your main 3 1-drops because they all give you card draw. They'll give you advantage. They let you go through your deck faster. This does not do any of that. Now, depending on how reprints look in Fabled, we do lose Chernobog's followers and the Magic Broom to rotation, depending on what is reprinted in those first few sets. So I can definitely feel like that is when this and a lot of the illusion cards in general, a lot of the new illusion cards in general are going to really shine because they're gonna fill in those spots. And like I said, when we get into Duel Links Jafar coming, that's good. I just don't think illusions are the way these two colors go together now. But in a post rotation world, 100%. So excited for what this card can do now, can do in the future. It's not really worth putting in your deck right now. Even if you want to build your deck more illusions right now, there are better options in that one cost character slot at the current moment. Going in next, we have the Royal Guard, Octopus Soldier. Whenever you draw a card, this character gains Challenger +1 this turn. They get +1 when challenging. Depending on when you play this card and how long it stays in play, this card can be really, really, really bad for your opponent because right now Amethyst runs Genie, which is going to stay post rotation. Friends on the other side. What else? I think that's it. The library, a gift for Bell as a location, and there are obviously other cards that you can put in here. Cards. Finders Keepers lets you draw 3 cards. This has potential in the Ruby Amethyst challenge deck that's coming around with, like, plays like a bunch of evasives and a bunch of cards that give power-ups. I like this card's future. I don't think it's good right now, but like the guard, I think it's going to be something that's going to be really, really good. The Bambi is our generic 2 cost, 3/2 quest for 1. Prince of the Forest. I love the art. I love the art on all the Bambi. So bright and colorful, which is crazy when you think about what's happening lore-wise in Lorcana in this set. I love the art. This is a generic 3/2. That's all you can really say about it. Jiminy Cricket. This, on the other hand, is interesting. It's a 2-drop, 1/1. Quest for 1, evasive. I like it. I wish that the stat line for its ability, I wish that its stat line was a little bit better. Well, this character is exerted. Opposing characters with rush, enter, play exerted. We have a bunch of characters right now that are really prevalent in the format with rush. Super Goof, Maui, Elsa. There's probably a couple others that I can't think of at this moment. There's the Peter Pan that gives everything with evasive rush. This is interesting. Oh, I guess the Peter Pan wouldn't really do anything to the Peter Pan because the Peter Pan, the characters on the field already have rush, and this is specifically when characters enter with rush, enter, play, exerted. I like this card. I like its effect. I wish that it was a little bit stronger than a 1/1 because any smart opponent is going to take this off the field before they play their rush card. And like every deck can have something with evasive in it to take this out first. Amethyst Steel has Genie, Elsa. Some versions run the Tinkerbell, the 1/3 Tinkerbell, which will take this out. Same thing with Amethyst Ruby. Even Emerald variants have Sir Hiss, which will take this out before they want to play anything with rush. Not that I think Emerald variants have a lot of cards that have rush. So I like the effect. I just wish that he was a bit stronger so he could survive something. We got our boy Nero, the Fearsome Crocodile. I actually really like this card. I think this card could be a sleeper hit in purple decks going forward, blurple decks going forward. You can tap him, move 1 damage from this one damage counter from this character, chosen character. Blurple really likes this because like moving damage, but I think this might find a home in the in Ruby Amethyst because a lot of the dual ink Ruby Amethyst cards are all about popping damage, putting damage on something to do something to your opponent. So I really feel like this card could see a lot of cool play in there. You can put like 2 damage on him, tap him, move one of the damage to one of your opponent's characters. Really, I think it's got really good potential going forward. And also that art is just a good boy playing in the water. What's there not to love about that? Our Amethyst Legendary, on the other hand, this card is not good. Maybe in the future, depending on a post rotation, what gets reprinted when you want to gain passive lore, maybe. But this card is not good, and it's not even that the card design itself is bad. The stat line is a little questionable for this kind of effect. We were of course talking about Bambi, the Little Prince, which I must say has a fantastic enchanted. We're of course talking about Bambi, the Little Prince. I want to like this card, I really do, but I just can't. I can't bring myself to like this card. When you play this character, gain 1 lore. When an opponent plays a character, return this character to your hand. Quest for 3, 3 cost, uninkable. If this card was inkable, I think I would like it a little bit more, because 9 times out of 10, depending on when you draw it, it's going to be a dead card in your hand. Because it's a 1/1 stat line, so it's going to get immediately taken out because they're not going to let you quest for 3. They're either going to just bounce it to your hand, or they're going to kill it, which it's a 1/1. It's not going to be very hard to take out. Literally every deck in this game right now can easily take out a 1/1 3-drop uninkable. So you're going to get your 1 lore out of it, but any good player isn't going to play another character until Bambi's off the field. So you're either sitting there just leaving Bambi on the field and not questing with it, hopes that they play another character, or they're, which case they can just take it out with strength. I'd waste a strength on this. Grab your sword. This is a prime target to be taken out with that. Even like Elsa, you can exert it and KO it. So, not a very good card. I would have really liked something better. Like, I think maybe if it was inkable, I'd like it a bit more. But at the end, it's this stat line does not measure up with this type of. Maybe you could have like quest for 1 less, made it like a 2/2 or like a 2/3, and kept it uninkable. But I don't know. It's just, as far as legendaries go, it's very underwhelming. Flower, on the other hand, I think is cool. There are a lot of cards that this can work with. It is a 3 cost inkable, 3/3 quest for 1. Whenever you play another character, look at the top card of your deck, put it either on top or bottom of your deck. We have a blue purple Merlin that when it quests, you can go to the top card of your deck, and you can you can reveal that you can name the top card of your deck. If you reveal it and it's the right card, it gets put in your ink while exerted. I think it's fun. I don't think it's going to see play competitively, but it's a fun little thing if you want to mess around with like some players at your locals, have a good time. Madam Mim is just a generic 3 cost, 4/3 quest for 1. Nothing you can really say about that. This Megara, I think, has a lot of potential right now in Blurple. And depending on how you want to play it, there is a couple of purple and red Hades that you can work with this as well in the challenge, in the like evasive challenge deck that has been seeing a lot of play. 3 cost, 2/5, quest for 1. Contentious Alliance. When you have a character named Hades in play, this character gains challenger 2. They gain +2 challenge. Blurple plays 4 copies of the Infernal Schemer Hades, which is a really good card. I think this pairs up really well with that. You can put something that's into the inkwell, and then you can take something else out with this Megara. Blurple does play a few damage removers. With like the Bell Aspiring Mystic, when you play it, you can move damage. I think this card has a lot of potential in that deck. Yeah, if you're playing red Amethyst, if you're playing Ruby Amethyst and you are running like some of the new Ruby dual color Hades, toss that in there, get an additional challenger 2 on a 2/5. Fantastic card. Yelena North Uldra Leader is another card that I think is going to be good, but I think it's going to be good a post rotation. It's a 3-drop, 2/3, quest for 2, challenger 2. When you play this character, Chosen character gains Challenger 2 this turn. I like this effect. I don't think it replaces the Mim Merlin package right now, but I think depending on what out of that package, if any of that package is reprinted going forward, if that package is not reprinted, then you have some really cool combinations here with Yelena and the surfboard Mim. I cannot remember its name. Giving everything Challenger 1, I think you have a lot of potential there with these two. But right now, the 3-cost spot in Amethyst Steel is very tight with your Foxes, your Cobras. If you're running White Rose, I think Doc is a 3. Don't quote me on that. So yeah, just a lot of tight spaces in the 3-drop character slot right now in most purple builds, I think. So, but in the future, this card, I think it was a good amount of play. Bruno Madrigal. If you guys don't know, I did post a Madrigal deck profile, and despite the fact there was no copies of this card in here because I'm dumb and forgot to put it in there, already recording the video and I wasn't going back and changing it. This card is obviously, if you're running this in your Madrigals, you're running it to shift into the 7-cost Amethyst that is coming out as well. 4-cost Inkable, 3/4 Quest for 1. Whenever you play this character, chosen opposing character can't ready at the start of the next turn. We like making big threats on the board stay exerted a little bit longer. You can get multiple Honey Marins, guaranteed Honey Marin usage with this as well. And exert, you can play Honey Marin on your next turn and gain a lore. This is obviously, if you're running this, you want to shift into the 7-drop Bruno, which we'll talk about when dual inks. If you check out my Madrigal deck profile as well. I like this card, even though for some reason I didn't put any in my deck. I like this card. It has potential, stopping your opponent and being able to shift on the next turn into that big Bruno and start getting crazy advantage when you sing songs. We have Drun, the Ravenous Plague. It is a 4-cost, 1/5 Challenger 4. It's going to be a 5/5 when it challenges. I love this card. I think this card has potential going forward in challenge decks. I think you could probably, I wish you could do something like this with some of the steel stuff that we have out now. The guy, when it's the second challenge of the turn, you gain lore. Can't ever remember his name, but I'm really excited with all this new challenger stuff that we have coming out in this set. I think there's a ton of potential there for a steel Amethyst challenge deck, and I'm super, super excited for it. We might build it. We might build it for a video. We'll see. And on our 4-cost, we have Cusco. Board Royal. Look at him. He's so bored. He has a 1/3 4-cost Inkable Quest for 1. When you play this character, you may return chosen character, item, or location with cost of 2 or less to their player's hand. This has potential. This has so much potential to mess around with your opponents who are still playing Hidden Cove in their Emerald decks. Items with cost of 2 or less, you can pop out. You can get rid of your opponent's Sapphire Coils, make them replay it. You can replay some of your stuff that you want to replay. Your pops. I always ignore. Your stuff that comes into play that has on play effects when they come in. You can really do a lot with this card. I like this card. You could run this in Amethyst and recycle your Ursulas and play them and get more song potential out of your hand, out of your opponent's hand. This card is really good. I really like this card. I think it's going to see some kind of play going forward. I really like this card. Without Hiram, you can use this to get a lot of reusage out of your draw items. Our other legendary in the Amethyst color is also kind of underwhelming. Again, the same thing with the Bambi. If this had a better stat line, I think I'd like it a bit more. Pinocchio Strings Attached is a 4-cost Inkable, 0/4 evasive. Once during your turn, whenever you ready this character, you may draw a card. I like this. I like this effect. I like that it's inkable. I like that it's evasive, so it has some form of protection. I do not like the 0/4 stat line. It's going to be really easy to take off your opponent's side of the field. Ruby has easy access to this in Brawl, Sisu's. Just a lot of stuff that gets around this stuff. Um, Amethyst can just take it down with a combination of Elsa and a Challenger. It's just super easy to get rid of this card. You can play Let the Storm Rage On, play your Elsa, take it out. That's just really easy to get rid of. I like the effect. I love the picture, but that stat line is troubling. Ryder, the Fleet-Footed Infiltrator. I like this card. It's a 3/4 quest for 1 with evasive 4 cost. I think in a post rotation world in like Ruby Amethyst evasives, depending on if that deck survives, I think this has a lot of potential to fill in one of those slots. Really good card. Camilo Madrigal, center stage, 4/4 quest for 2, 5 inkable. I don't like this card. Whenever this character is banished in a challenge, return it to your hand. Fine. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this card. I think out of all the new Madrigals we've gotten in this set, Camilo is the one that is not going to see play going forward. And rounding out our characters, we have Monstro. He is an 8-drop, 6/8, quest for 2 with Rush. I actually really like this card. It's an 8, so I don't know if you're going to play in any purple variants that aren't Sapphire as well, because you can ramp really quickly in that build. 6/8 that can rush, and then you can choose and discard a card and ready this character. He can't quest again. You could, depending on what your hand size will look like and what you have in your hand, you could almost clear a board with this. You could definitely take out 2 big threats with this. That a 6/8, it's going to survive a rush with almost everything in the format. So you're going to discard a card, make him active, and do it again. I like this card. I would not be surprised to see people running at least one of him in Blurple, because he's just a really good card to clear threats. I like him. Getting into our actions, we have at the 3 cost, we have They Never Come Back. Up to two chosen characters can't ready at the start of the next turn. Draw a card. This is a really good card. I like this card. It's a 3 cost. It's inkable, which is awesome. You get to draw a card. You can stop 2 threats from untapping at the start of your opponent's turn. Really, really good. Really, really good. Everybody's got a weakness. 4 cost action. I love this picture, by the way. Move 1 damage counter from each damage character you have in play to chosen opposing character. Draw a card for each damage moved in this way. So many of the Ruby Amethyst cards, the dual inks, put damage on your side of the field to do things to your opponent. I like this card. I think there is something brewing with those 2 color combinations and that ability, and I'm really excited to see what people do with it going forward. Definitely worthy of the rest. And then we have Forest Duel, rounding out our actions. 5 cost, inkable. Your characters gain challenge 2, and when this character is banished in a challenge, return this card to your hand this turn. So you get a +2 on challenging, and that character gets returned to your hand if they're banished. Going forward in like different challenger decks, I think this has a ton of potential. I'm going to be really interested to see if we get any other ways for other colors to gain lore off of challenge. And we have our last 2 cards rounding out our Amethyst side of this video. We have, honestly, probably my favorite card in this set. Look at that. Look at that. Such a beautiful enchanted. Fantastical and magical. If you guys know, I am absolutely digging all the magical support we have coming out between the current set, Arcasia's Island, and this set. It's super good. It's super awesome. I'm super excited for the singing. Like, this is going to be the song deck going forward, I think. Sing Together 9, uninkable. We don't really care about that. Sing Together 9. Any number of your characters or your teammates' characters with a total cost of 9 or more may exert to sing this song for free. Each character that sang this song, draw 1 card, gain 1 lore. 9 or more is the important part there. If you have 4 characters on the field and your cost is more than 9, tap them all, gain a 4 lore, draw 4 cards. I love this card. This deck is going to be so good. I'm super excited for it. Super, super excited, if you couldn't tell. And then rounding out our Amethyst, we have Scarab. It is a item, 2 cost, uninkable, tap, pay 2, return an illusion character from your discard to your hand. Card is meh. This card is meh. If it returned it to the field, and like if it had an effect it didn't get to activate its effect, I think that'd be pretty good. Or if it costs 1 less to return an illusion character to your field, I just think there are better options out here, even in a post-rotation world, to put in your deck than this card. I mean, yeah, returning a Cobra in the late game could be pretty cool if you can play it and you have if you have cards to discard. But as a whole, I don't think this has potential going forward. All right, and now we are into the Steel. And ironically enough, our Steel starts off with a reprint. A reprint of Captain Hook, Forceful Duelist. This is always going to be a good card. It's always going to be good. We're actually getting a really good shifting hook in this set, which is why I think this card was reprinted. I love the new art. It's cool. Doesn't beat the old art. 1 cost, inkable, quest for 1, 1/2, challenger 2. This is like a really strong turn 1 play for Pirates. This is going to be a really strong turn 1 play for Pirates going forward. I think Pirates is a really, really potentially powerful deck going forward. I love this card. Love this card, but this art is so much better. Going in next, we have a Dump Truck. Carnage's second mate. 1 cost, uninkable, 0/1. Quest for 1. When you play this character, you may deal 1 damage to chosen character. I like this card. When we get into Duel Inks, we're going to talk about Walk the Plank. But we'll talk about Walk the Plank here briefly as well. Walk the Plank is a action, is a green steel. For the rest of the turn, your pirates gain, you can tap them to banish chosen damaged character. So this helps spread that damage along. I'm really excited for what this deck, Pirates, and this card is going to do in the future. I like this card. A really good effect. We have another Hey. He is a generic 2/2, 1 cost, inkable, quest for 1. What else can you say? Nathaniel Flint is a 2 cost, 3/3, quest for 2. You can't play this character unless an opposing character was damaged this turn. There's a lot of ways that this deck pre-rotation is going to be able to do cheap damage. That dump truck like we just talked about, fire the cannons, lots of great ways to do cheap damage on like that turn 3 to be able to play this 3/3, that quest for 2. I like this card. I definitely think he's another strong potential in Pirates. I don't really know if he fits in any other Steel Amethyst variants. I guess so, because there is the Dual Ink Maui, but we'll talk about that in a later video. So I really like this card. I think it's got a lot of potential going forward. Prince Ahmed. Rival Suitor, 2/2, quest for 1, 2 cost, inkable. When you play this character, you may exert chosen princess character. We'll see what the form. We'll see how. I don't know. I just think it's a very. Like underwhelming ability when there are better cards that deal with princess characters right now. Toby Turtle. 0/4, 2-drop, quest for 1, inkable. Hard Shell. When this character is exerted, he gains resist 1. Takes 1 less damage. I think he's cool. I don't think he's going to see play anywhere, but I think he's cool. I love the art. Bobby the Purple Pigeon. 3 cost, 4/2, quest for 1, bodyguard. Bodyguard is interesting because it's getting a lot of cool support in this set. So I think in like the bodyguard deck, I think he's got a potential here. 4/2 on a bodyguard. He's going to take something out with him most times. I think this card is pretty good. I like the art. I think if Bodyguard takes off, it's gonna be really good. General Lee, 2/4, resist 1, quest for 1, 3-drop. In the challenge deck going forward, this could see some play. It is resist 1, so it's technically a 2/5 when you think about it. I think it has potential, but I think in that challenge deck going forward, there is going to be a lot of battles for certain positions. So for certain character cost positions. So we'll see. But I think he has potential in post rotation depending on how it goes. Genie, Satisfied Dragon. This art just kills me. I love this. 3/4, 3-drop, quest for 1, pseudo evasive. I call them pseudo evasives because they only have evasive on your turn. I think all pseudo evasives are the same. It's cool that they're printed in colors that don't really have evasives, but as a whole, there are probably better options out there to take care of your opponent's evasive characters. Magic Carpet. I think this is the only other illusion that isn't dual color in this set. So it's a 3-drop, inkable, 2/4, quest for 2, with the vanish ability. When your other illusion characters gain challenge 1, I like this. I like running into things with Cobra after it's done its thing. This will makes my Cobras a little bit stronger, which I think is really cool. I think post. I don't think this is better than the Madame Mim that gives everything Challenger 1, but I think it's a nice little add-on if you're playing like a heavy illusion based Amethyst Steel deck. But if you're just like running like I only run Cobras and I'm gonna be running Iago, I don't think I'd include Carpet in there for that. But if you were running all of them, then yeah, you could definitely make a case for this Carpet. Zipper. I love that we're getting more Rescue Ranger cards. I don't love that this is a pseudo evasive. I think they could have done so much more. I think as a whole, they could have done so much more with the Rescue Ranger theme. But that is a different story for a different day. Zipper is a 3-cost, 2/4, quest for 1. Best mates. If you have a character named Monterey Jack in play, you pay 1 less card to play it. So it's a 2-cost, 2/4, pseudo evasive. There are better pseudo evasives. We even just went over one with better stat lines in like Genie style. Love the art, but as always, a little disappointed with most of the Rescue Rangers, which sucks. Iago is a 3/3 quest for 2, 4-cost inkable. Has this cool like promo card too, which is really awesome. While you have another character in play, another exerted character in play, this character can't be challenged. I have a funny little deck idea with like, so it'd be like this, the Isabella Madrigal from Arcasia's Island, and Snow White from Arcasia's Island that can't be challenged. Just like play a bunch of characters that can't be challenged, and then your opponent like obviously blow them up. But a lot of them have really good stat lines, so it might take a while to blow them all up, and then just quest with them all. Like sing with one, quest with the others. That potential. It's gonna be terrible, but I'm gonna build it as a meme deck video. But like, well, you have another exerted character in play. This character can't be challenged. This is really cool if your other exerted character isn't evasive and you're running evasive heavy. Can't really take either of them off the field unless they're willing to use their songs or actions. That has potential. On 2/7 4-drop, just a generic. I like this stat line, so you might be able to like find a place for him in decks that can give stuff a lot of resist. Challenge decks maybe that can give a lot of resist, but it's a generic boy. This Stitch is really good. We need to talk about this Stitch. This Stitch is a 3/4, 4-cost inkable. Quest for 1. I win during your turn. Whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, draw a card and gain a lore. We know how good Super Goof is. We know how good Calhoun is. This card gives you one less lore, but you also get to draw a card. I think this card has a lot of potential in challenge decks going forward, especially being able to give it resist with Mushu. You could give it evase when you play it with the new Mushu that we'll talk about when we do dual inks. You can give it rush and reckless as well. I like this card. I think it's gonna see a ton of play. Ariana, hello Binks. Ariana, Queen of Corona, 5/5, quest for 2 for 5. Nah. Monterey Jack is a 5 cost, 4/5 bodyguard. The character may enter play exerted. An opposing character who challenges one of your characters must choose one with bodyguard if able. Pretty solid stat line on a 5 cost. My friend Andrew runs plate armor, and so giving this plate armor would be hilarious. I think it's got potential. I like it. This, in my opinion, is probably the best legendary, one of the best legendaries in this set. We're, of course, talking about Namari, Single-Minded Rival, 5 cost, 0/5. Quest for 2. When you play this character and at the start of your turn, you may draw a card, then choose and discard a card, and then this character gets +1 strength for each card in your discard. In a late game, this thing is going to stick around probably for a good little while. Hello, Bing. I think this has potential. Okay. Thanks. We have I cannot even begin to pronounce that. Tataya? Atataya? 7 cost, 7/7, quest for 3. Sure. If you can get it out, go for it. This stat line is amazing. Quest for 3. I don't even care that it's generic. If you can play this, you play this. You can run it in a challenge deck, give it rush, reckless, evasive. I actually really like this card. I think a 3. I think this is a threat on the field for being able to challenge. I think this is a threat on the field for being able to quest. I think for 7/7, it's going to take a hot minute to get rid of it. Unless you're playing Emerald, in which case you can just bounce it with Mother Knows Best, and we don't talk about Bruno. Vincenzo Santorini. He has a 7 cost, 2/8. Quest for 3, inkable. I just like to blow things up. When you play this character, you may deal 3 damage to chosen character. Solid. 2/8 is pretty good. He's going to live through a few challenges. He's going to live through a few things. It's going to take a little bit to get rid of him. Unless you're playing Emerald or Ruby, in which case you can just take advantage of the fact that he's only a 2. And you can get rid of him like that. Seems like a solid card. This Mickey Mouse, I love this Mickey Mouse. It is a 10 cost. Bodyguard. Quest for 5. When this character is banished, deal 5 damage to each opposing player. There are a couple of other Mickeys, all steel, ironically enough, in earlier sets that let you play characters for free. So this is definitely a solid potential for that deck. Outside of that, 10 is a bit much. Uninkable also hurts it too. But if you can get it out, you're going to do stuff with it, that's for sure. And then when he eventually dies, you're going to deal 5 damage to everything, which is kind of crazy. We have Quick Shot. 2 cost, deal 1 damage, chosen character, draw a card. Uninkable. I like this. Right now, it's not going to see a lot of play. We have better damaging options. We have Let the Storm Rage On, which does 2 and lets you draw a card. We have Fire the Cannons, which is a 1 cost, does 2 damage. I think this card has potential in the future, but I don't think right now. Desperate Plan. I like this card. It is a 3 cost, uninkable action. If you have no cards in your hand, draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. Otherwise, choose and discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. The enchanted art is fantastic. This is a great card, and it works in really, really well with the Namari, with the with the legendary Namari. Super cool combination. I think Steel has a very strong upside coming into this set. Not just like Steel like Steel anything. I think Steel in general is gonna be like super strong in this set, which I think is really cool. Then we have our new pseudo A Whole New World in Beyond the Horizon is a Sing Together, uninkable 7 cost. You can exert any number of your or your teammates' characters with a total cost 7 or more to sing this song for free. Choose any number of players. They discard their hand and draw 3 cards. This is a better version of A Whole New World in a sense that you're limiting the number of cards that your opponent gets, but you're also limiting the number of cards that you get. But you can choose to not have your opponent do anything. It says choose any number of players. So you can just play this for yourself, discard your hand if you have it, and if you have a hand that you want to discard, and draw 3 cards. I very much like this card. I think this card, I know personally when I play A Whole New World, there's never, in my opinion, a really good time to use it, especially with how much more fast-paced and aggressive the meta has become. There are so many times when I don't run it in my Amethyst Steel deck anymore because there are just so many times where my opponent doesn't really have a lot of cards in their hand, so I'm just going to help them. Or they have no hand, and I'm just going to help them, so why would I play this? I like this card because it limits the number of cards they can draw, and it's a card that'll let me discard a dead hand that I have. And while I won't get as many cards, my opponent, if they're not sitting on a lot, they're still stuck with their dead hands. I like this card. It's crazy to me that's an uncommon. I think this card has a ton of potential. And then rounding out our Steel, we have Hamster Ball. Is a 3-cost uninkable item. You can tap it and pay 1. Chosen character with no damage gains resist 2 at the start of your next turn. Again, we've shown off a lot of cool stuff in this Steel side, like some cool bodyguards that have really good stat lines. This card in general would just be a really good target with it. This card as well, because you give it a resist 2, and it's going to have a crazy stat. It's going to have a crazy attack power. So I definitely feel like Steel as a whole, without counting Duel Inks, definitely feel like Steel got a lot of like potentially really good stuff, especially in this Stitch, this Namari, this card, and Beyond the Horizon. I think Steel has a very positive upside. Really excited to do some cool Steel shenanigans. I have a deck idea in my head for Emerald Steel, bit of an aggro deck. So I'm super excited to start piecing that stuff together. I definitely think Steel, honestly, I feel like Steel got one of the best like boosts in this set. So I'm really excited to test out these cards. If you guys don't know, Reign of Jafar releases at your local game stores on May 30th and releases to the rest of the world on June 5th or 6th, one of those days. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Amethyst and Steel's offering in Reign of Jafar. Like I said, we got a bunch of videos coming out for these. I'm really excited to record them for you guys. Really excited for Lorcana. I'm really excited for this set. I think this set has a ton of potential and could be a very meta-defining set, both now and when we rotate heading into Fabled. Don't forget to like the channel, ding the notification bell, subscribe, do all that cool jazz. Check out some of our other Lorcana videos. And as always, friends, stay safe out there. Enjoy your card games. And I will see you when I see you. Bye.